Shemai Yasharallah, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad, Wa'ahavta Ath Yahweh Elohayaka, Bakal Lababka, Wabakal Napashka, Wabakal Ma'adka. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one, and you Yahweh your power with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. All right, so into the next to last chapter of the Torah. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, give us understanding of your word, teach us, show us, guide us into truth. In the name of your son, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, the Wadatam Yad Aman. All right, so let's go into read Deuteronomy chapter 33, verses 1 and 2.
And this is the blessing wherewith Mashah, the man of Elohim, blessed the children of Yasha'Allah before his death. And he said, Yahweh came from Sinai and rose up from Seir unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000 of saints. From his right hand went a fiery law for them.
All right, so right now we see Moses, Mashah, is the one that's blessing the children of Yasha'Allah through the power of Yahweh before he died. So Yahweh came from Mount Sinai and rose up from Mount Seir unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran. So Mount Seir is east of Mount Sinai. Okay, Mount Seir is east of Sinai. So the glory that Esau should have gotten with that birthright came unto Jacob. So Yahweh took the blessings and took the birthright and the reward that was for the children of Yasha'Allah, and he gave it to us. I'm sorry, that was for Esau, because he was the firstborn. Took it from him and gave it to us, because Esau gave us his birthright for food. All right. Go ahead.
Yea, he loved the people.
So Yahweh says that he loved the people. Read.
All his saints are in thy hand.
All of those that practice holiness, believe in the Messiah, and keep the laws of the Most High, he says we're in his hand. Read.
And they sat down at thy feet. Every one shall receive of thy words. Mashah commanded us a law, even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob.
So Moses commanded this law. So we're supposed to keep and observe and do this law forever, which are the Hispanics, Latinos, Native Americans, and the blacks in North, Central, South America, and the Caribbean. The primary locations of the 12 tribes of Israel. Also, we fled into Africa, to East and West Africa. And also we fled into India in slavery from East Africa. Read.
And he was king in Jeshurun when the heads of the people and the tribes of Yasha'Allah were gathered together.
Okay. I keep reading.
Let Reuben live and not die.
Okay.
And let not his men be few.
So it says, let Reuben live. Okay. And let him not die. And may his population be counted. Why is it talking about Reuben living and not dying, and may he be counted? So when we're looking for Reuben, The reason it's saying let him live and not die is because we're looking for a small tribe. Just by the language that it uses here, it lets us know that Reuben is a small tribe. So Reuben is dealing with those people that are in the Florida area, the indigenous people down there. Small groups. That's why they get overlooked by a lot of people. Some people say Seminoles, but we can use Miccosukee. We can use the Appalachee. Okay. We can use the names Hitichi. We can use the names that were used in the past. So the reason it says Reuben's going to live, let Reuben live, and let his men not be few. Okay? It's because Reuben is going to become a small number. It's going to look like he's almost extinct. And that's when we get to the indigenous people down in Florida. Ra'aoban, which means look, a son. But the Spanish were actually trying to kill their sons. So when they used to have a census in Florida, and the Spanish went around to the different places where the Miccosukee lived, they would actually hide their baby boys. They would hide their baby boys so that the Spanish didn't know how many sons they had. Because the Spanish were trying to kill their boys. So that's why the Most High said, let him live. And let not his men be few. Okay? And not die. Let Reuben live and not die, meaning Reuben's going to be facing overwhelming circumstances where it looks like he's not going to die. He's not going to live. That's what it means. So Moses saying, here's a blessing I'll put on you. I want you to live and not die. And that's why even today, how many brothers even know anybody that claim to be from the tribe of Reuben? You see? And y'all brothers down there in Florida, do you go to the Miccosukee reservations? The Tamiami Trail? Okay, so it says, let Reuben live and not die. Okay, and B, Mathiyawa, his people, population, included in the count. Masapar. So Reuben is going into the natives of basically Florida, parts of Georgia, but they got pushed out of the areas where they were. Okay, they went by names such as Calusa, Mayaka, Ais, Apalachi, Hitichi, Miccosukee, okay, Timucua, and lastly, this latest byword that's been put on them is Seminole. So that's Reuben. Let's go into verse 7.
And this was the blessing of Judah. And he said, hear Yahweh, the voice of Judah.
Stop right there. It says, hear Yahweh, the voice of Judah. So as a spiritual people, the blessing that Moses is putting on Judah is asking for Yahweh to hear Judah. And that is the rich heritage of what we call old Negro spirituals. Okay? Old Negro spirituals. We have no other tribe on the planet, no other people that's known for singing songs to the God of Israel, to the God of the Bible, more than the so-called Black Americans, so-called Negroes. So it says, hear Yahweh, the voice of Judah. So Judah sang songs to the God of the Bible on a regular basis. Negro spirituals about the Bible. So it says, Yahweh, please hear Judah's voice. Read.
And bring him unto his people.
You see, that shows us that the place where Judah came to, that his people were already there. So when Judah came into the Americas, there were tribes of Israel already in this part of the world. You had Gad in North America. You had Reuben in North America. You had Simeon in Cuba. You had Ephraim over in Puerto Rico. You had Issachar in Mexico. So it said what? It said, and bring him to his people. Go ahead.
Let his hand be sufficient for him.
I need you to go sit down somewhere. Go sit down. And let his hands be sufficient. Because Judah has been catching hell since he got the slave ships until now, 2018. He's been catching hell. No other tribe has had the so-called white man just shooting him in his back. You know, we know other tribes experience different hardships, different trials. But a lot of times there's members of that own tribe doing these evil things to their own people. But Judah's doing it to himself, and Judah has a so-called white man doing it to him also. So the scripture says what? Let his hands be sufficient for him. See, these blessings are given to help the tribes make it through the hard time that they're going to be facing. So Judah is going to be going through a lot of crap. He went in slavery. He was lynched. He was raped. He was murdered. Their stomachs were cut open. The babies were burnt alive. They were forced to have sex with animals. The white man would rape the man and the woman and the children. You see? Jamaicans got, the British left Jamaica. The Gadite, the North American Indians got reservations. Issachar fought to kick the Spanish out of Mexico. Cubans rose up against the Spanish and they took the island. Haiti fought the French. But what did Judah do? Judah didn't do nothing. Judah's still being oppressed. No reservations, no independence by the so-called white man. By the so-called white man. Jamaica, Brazil, Argentina, these tribes gathered together to fight against their enemies. Judah never did that with a small degree of success. So that's why Yahweh says, let his hands be sufficient for him. Okay? So when we're dealing with Judah, Judah was destined to become great in the eyes of his enemies. Judah means Yahweh be thanked, or Yahweh be praised. Now, we're only doing Deuteronomy chapter 33. We're not going into Genesis 49 or Deuteronomy chapter 28. We're only dealing with this chapter. We can make allusion to it. We know Judah came into slavery. We know the other tribes were also in slavery. So it says, let Judah's hands be sufficient for him. Read.
And be thou in help to him from his enemies.
Be in help from his enemies. Why? Because Judah had it bad from his enemies. He had no place to run, no territories, no help from nobody else. Okay. Now, verse 8 says, and of Levi he said, let thy Thummim and thy Urim be with thy Holy One. So the Thummim and Urim is going into oracles, spiritual answers that the children of Israel would get when they prayed to Yahweh, to get answers. So when Levi fell, this is talking about spiritual power. Levi continued to use what he knew. And since Yahweh wasn't dealing with Levi no more, Levi started to deal with Satan, getting answers from demons and from spirits that they say are the ancestors, but they're not. Okay? So it says, Levi, let thy Thummim and Urim be with thy Holy One. So in righteousness in our land, that was a blessing. And also the blessing changed into a curse, and they got freedom through calling upon spirits to do things for them. So even the curse changed into a blessing also, because they were able to get freedom. But they went about it using the negative forces instead of praying to Yahweh, the God of Israel. Read.
Whom thou didst prove at Massa, and with whom thou didst strive at the waters of Meribah.
This is when we were dealing with the with Moses. We had an issue, and we were complaining. The children of Israel were complaining. All right. We questioned whether the Most High was able to give us water. But we, as the children of Israel, we complained, but Levi did not complain. At Meribah, when Moses hit the stone, once again, Levi was not among the ones that were complaining about the water. Now let's look at something very significant. Now, who is Levi today? It's the Haitians. Who is Judah today? The Black Americans, mainly. Read verse 9.
Who said unto his father?
So Levi said to his father, read.
And to his mother,
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen him.
Uh-huh.
Neither did he acknowledge his brethren, nor knew his own children.
This is talking about when Levi had to kill those people that were worshiping the golden calf. Remember, Levi is the one that went through the audience and killed the people that were not on the side of Yahweh. Now we see this same thing being imitated when? During the time of the Haitian Revolution. If you were not on the side of the slaves that were rising up against the French, you got killed. Whether you were mother, whether you were father, whether you were the children of the ones that were rising up against the French in Haiti. If you stood in the way, if you were in any way in favor of the French, the system of slavery, the colonialism that was forced upon the slaves of Levi that were brought to the island of Haiti, then they would kill you. That's why I said he didn't know his mother. He didn't know his father. He didn't know his children. He didn't acknowledge nobody. Read.
And for they have observed thy word and kept thy covenant.
Observe that word, kept that covenant, meaning what? Levi is supposed to be keeping the covenant and keeping the covenant and observing the word of Yahweh that we see in the Torah. That's what Levi's supposed to be doing. Okay? That's what Levi's supposed to be doing. Okay? Go ahead.
They shall teach Jacob thy judgments, and Yasha'Allah thy law.
This is going to happen again. Levi, you Levites out there, you so-called Haitians, scattered throughout Mexico, scattered throughout Chile, scattered throughout Brazil, scattered throughout Argentina, Venezuela. The Most High scattered through these different areas. In ancient Israel, you were scattered. The Haitians were scattered all around the country of Israel because they hold that the right way. Because they were supposed to teach Israel the laws and the commandments and the statutes. That's what their job was. Right, read?
They shall put incense before thee.
They shall put incense before Yahweh. Go ahead.
And whole burnt sacrifice upon thine altar.
So they were making sacrifices. This was the blessing for them to be the priest of Yahweh. But they took that blessing and they started making sacrifices to devils, to demons. And they do the same thing unto this day. I was looking at a video just the other day about and it was talking about how in Haiti, they go into the highest, steepest, tallest mountains to do their little sacrifices to offer up to the different gods, what they call the luas. The lua, which is called also in Yoruba, they call it orishas. So they make sacrifices to these little luas, blood and from chicken and from goats and pigs, and they kill them and they sacrifice the blood to these demons, the lua, or to the orishas, they call them. Okay, so that righteousness that they were doing for Yahweh, they started doing wickedness for Hashatan, because Hashatan would give them that power, to do something for them. And they have to give Hashatan a life, maybe a cousin, maybe a wife, maybe your son. But Hashatan is going to take somebody's life close to you. Read.
Bless Yahweh his substance, and accept the work of his hands.
Okay. Now this very next verse, pay very close attention to it. Read.
And accept the work of his hands.
Smite
through the loins of
Smite through the loins. Go ahead.
Of them that rise against him.
Of them that rise up against Levi. Read.
And of them that hate him. That they rise not again.
So how did the Most High smite through the loins them that rise up against Levi? Levi is a tribe of Haiti. Okay. Now, during the revolt of the Haitian Levite slaves against the white French and anybody that was fighting with them against the tribe of Levi Haitians got hit with a mysterious illness, which caused several severe casualties, strange, unexplainable sicknesses, and it caused fear. Now, the French were killed so bad by this disease that it caused them to stop fighting the French, stop fighting the tribe of Levi, the Haitians. And the tribe of Levi, the Haitians, became the very first people that white people had conquered to break free from that conquest. And that's the same thing we see in history. They were the only successful slave result in history. And they were the first free country. After colonialism started. Now, this is the same thing we see after the Egyptian slavery. It was a Levite, which was Moses, that led us to freedom, which was the Haitian today. After Babylon, it was Ezra who led us to freedom, which Ezra, again, is a Levite today. Now, Matthias, when you go into the Maccabees, was the father of Maccabees, Judas Maccabees. They were Haitians that fought against the French, that fought against the, not the French, but fought against the Greek occupation of Israel, of Jerusalem. And then you got John the Revelator. John the Baptist from the tribe of Levi, so-called Haitians, that led the way for Yahushua. And then you had the famous general of Israel, Josephus, which was a Haitian, a Levite. So the Levites always led the way in war and resistance to captivity and to oppression. Okay? So this is why it says that the Most High is going to smite through the loins. All right? And I believe you can call that sickness that they got. I believe it can fall under the category of what they would call yellow fever. Smite through the loins. What does yellow fever do? It causes your whole insides to break down. So you can't eat and you start to spit up your guts. Your whole loins, from your mouth all the way down, your whole digestive system breaks down and destroys itself. You start to spit up your guts. Your guts start to rot and break down and get like real sick. They call it yellow fever. And this is something that it's a disease of the loins. Loins meaning your midsection area. So it was a disease of the digestive system. Okay. It was a disease of the digestive system. And that's yellow fever. So the Most High said he's going to smite the loins of them that rise up against Levi. That's talking about the sickness that came upon the French when they fought against the Levites trying to get freedom on the island of Haiti. So if you look on the earth, if you look in all the different countries, you see this type of thing happening. That shows you that the tribe of Levi is there. Okay? So Levi, we know, is the Haitians. They fit that prophecy to a T. Verse 12.
And of Benjamin.
Benjamin are those black people that were brought mainly by the British into the islands. Mainly the people that were brought by the British, okay? So when we're talking about Benjamin, once again, we're talking about the people that are mainly in the islands. We're talking about the people, some of the CD people, the Black West Indies of the ABC Islands, which is Aruba, Bonaire, and Caracas Islands. You're talking about the black people in Anguilla, in Barbuda, in Bahamas, the black people in Barbados, the black people that were brought in slavery to Belize, the black people in Bermuda, the black people in, as we said, Bonaire, which is one of the ABC Islands. Okay. The black people in the British Virgin Islands, the black people that were brought to the Cayman Islands, the black people that were brought to Dominica, not Dominican Republic, but Dominica, the black people that were brought to French Guiana, the black people that were brought to Grenada, the black people that were brought to Guadeloupe, the black people that were brought to Guyana in slavery, that were brought to Jamaica in slavery, the black people that were brought to Martinique in slavery, the black people that were brought to Montserrat, Saba, St. Bart's in slavery, the black people that were brought to St. Eustatius in slavery, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. St. Martin in slavery, the blacks that were brought to St. Vincent and Grenadines, the black people that were brought to Suriname in slavery, Trinidad and Tobago, Turks and Caicos, and the U.S. Virgin Islands in slavery. These people all make up the tribe of Benjamin. So the Most High said, and of Benjamin, he said what?
The beloved of Yahweh shall dwell in safety by him.
The beloved of Yahweh shall dwell in safety by him. The beloved of Yahweh was King David. So how does King David dwell in safety? By them. Because Benjamin is the main tribe that makes songs from the Psalms of David. The Psalms of David. Benjamin is the main tribe that makes songs based on the Psalms of David. Psalms 23. All right. Psalm 75. Psalm 61. Psalms 137. Psalms 2. Benjamin got all types of psalms that they make with reggae. All right. When you got reggae music, they got all types of music that they make. And the music comes from the Psalms. Okay. So that's how the beloved of the Most High is dwelling in safety by him. Read.
And Yahweh shall cover him all the day long.
When you go into Benjamin's territory, man, Benjamin they covered by the Most High, man. They don't got to do nothing they don't want to. They can just stay by the beach, stay in the bush, stay by the streams and the rivers, in their islands, and just just be left alone. They got real natural environments to just relax and live at. The blessing of the Most High covers them. Even when you go to Belize, when you go to Jamaica, you go to St. Lucia, Anguilla, all of these places Benjamin has, like tropical paradises, man. And they really just relax. They want to live off the land. They want to live natural. A lot of them were doing it before Rastafarianism got introduced. They were doing it as part of the Maroon culture, which was when Benjamin ran away from the slave masters, the white devils that raped them, put them in slavery. And he just wanted to get away into the mountains. And it was those types of people that were that fell victim to Rastafarianism. Okay? So it says that Yahweh shall cover him all day long. Go ahead.
And he shall dwell between his shoulders.
And he, what verse is that?
12.
And he shall dwell between his shoulders. Okay. So that's kind of showing how the temple was kind of resting between Benjamin's territory and Judah's territory. So even now, Benjamin as a tribe is known for their system of worship, trying to do the right thing. They're not as bad as Levi. They don't follow the European Babylonian system. And they try to do things like temple rituals and priest and esteemed leadership in the Rastafarian Benjamite community, wanting to do things in a more natural, spiritual way. So you got to give them credit for that. Okay. So also dwelling between his shoulders, all right, getting into the head, the neck, which is between the shoulders. You got between the shoulders, you got what? You got your head. And on the head, you got the songs that Benjamin is singing once again. So getting into the songs that Benjamin, and this is throughout all the islands. They always have a songs about the Most High, for the Most High. You understand? About the Most High and for the Most High. Especially got so many songs that come out of the Psalms. Psalms. Okay? So that's dealing with the tribes. And tomorrow we get into Joseph. Really, it's all about Joseph tomorrow. Okay. All right. So those are the tribes we can go over today. Reuben, which is the indigenous people in Florida. Judah, which is the Black Americans. Levi, which are the Haitians. And Benjamin, which are the Black people mainly brought into the Caribbean islands by the British. Okay. Or the British ended up being in control of a lot of those islands. Now we know we got Saint Martin and Saint Martin, but for the most part, the British was controlling the whole show over there. All right. So these are, and like I said, when we're doing a class about the tribes particularly, we can go into Deuteronomy 33, Deuteronomy 28, Leviticus 26, and then Genesis 49. So we can go into all of those different chapters and look at them together to show where the tribes are, how they got there, what are their characteristics, what's going on with them. All right, so that's it for now. Going to end off. Yahweh, thank you for giving us understanding of your word. Forgive us and our fathers for our sins and transgressions. Continue to give us more understanding, more knowledge, and more wisdom. This we beg of you in the name of your son, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, the water Tam Yaraman. Shema Yasharala, Yahweh Alhainau, Yahweh Akkad, Wa'ahabta At Yahweh Alahayakah, Bakal Lababka, Wabakal Napashka, Wabakal Ma'atka. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one, and you shall love Yahweh your power with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. Hallelujah.